Assalamu alaikum once again to you. I hope you've had a fantastic month of Ramadan. Belated Eid Mubarak to all our viewers, those who are Muslim and non-Muslims as well. I hope the month of Ramadan has given you a new spirituality, an uplifting of your spirit, and that it's reinforced your intentions to become a better Muslim and a better human being. And that this month has enabled you to refocus on yourselves and everybody around you to see how we can improve ourselves as a Muslim and for those who would live around us as well, regardless of whether they're Muslims or not. So I hope you've had a wonderful month. I hope this month has been beneficial to you on many, many different levels. I've certainly missed all our viewers, and I hope that you've missed me as well. I've certainly found the month of Ramadan certainly very, very challenging and uplifting in how I have been in the past. And I hope, inshallah, that this month will make me a better person for the next year, and may Allah give us the opportunity to enjoy the month of Ramadan again in the years to come. Today I have some really special guests that you have met before, and I hope that they will enlighten you from what we did when we went to them outside broadcast a few weeks ago just before Ramadan. They are from the local boxing gym, which is called Lights Out Boxing Association Academy, which is based in Bradford. And I have two of their members. The man who runs it was well known, internationally well known as Inzi, and one of the young people who is part of the team there who is into boxing and has become quite a success in the Lights Out gym itself, and that is Daniel, who's 15 years old, and I've been told that he has already been successful in a national event as well. So I'm going to talk to them in a little while about what they do, how they've done it, where they started, and where they want to go, and the difficulty that they've faced in getting to where they are. Obviously, it's a gym that is locally based. It is based in the center of our community, where there's all sorts of issues around educational deprivation, social deprivation, welfare deprivation, housing deprivation. So there's very little infrastructure support for young people in that particular area. So the presence of the gym itself plays a vital role in community cohesion, but also in tackling some of the issues which affect our community. And certainly, if you are like myself, we've seen a lot of our young people getting involved in a lot of antisocial activity around, even in the month of Ramadan, when you expect that people would be much more spiritual, where people would respect the law of Islam, the time of the month, the fact that people are fasting. I saw some appalling behavior taking place in parts of the country when I was around to see how some of our young Muslim people behave in the month of Ramadan. So this, I hope you will learn today, and I hope and I know they're doing it, a gym that is, as I say, based in the heart of the Muslim community in Bradford, which is predominantly, probably I'd say 99% Asian Pakistani Muslim community where they are. So let me introduce to you Inzi, who is the guy who started the gym, who started boxing. He himself was into boxing when he was young. He still looks very young, and he's still into very good sort of boxing shape that when I look at him, I envy him. I think I need to join your gym, Inzi, and maybe I can get rid of some of his flab. But I've been trying to do that for 35 years, and I've not succeeded. So I've got Inzi with me. You will remember him and Danielle, who was also with me today. When we went to his gym, they were in a small little room on top of a supermarket, which had been donated to them by the owner of the supermarket, who is one of the local councillors now, who's recognized that there was a problem within the community. And in order to try and overcome some of those issues, he very willingly gave over the room that he was using as a storeroom upstairs in his shop to allow this gym to develop and to grow and to flourish. So, people like him are a boon for our community. We need more people like him to make sure that our young people are looked after and cared for and away from antisocial behavior. So Inzi obviously started this gym nearly just a year ago, and he now has 100 young boys and girls, he tells me, who are registered as members of the gym. So Inzi, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again. We came to see your gym. We saw the work that you're doing. We saw some of the young men who are partners in the gym, who come there every 2 or 3 times a week. You train them. Not all of them go on to become big boxers, but obviously Danielle has, and I'm sure Danielle will talk to him in a little while. He's got ambitions to go even further. But you've had some really interesting success already with one or two of your members who, who really are into boxing. We'll talk about that in a while. Danielle, Inzi, we talked about this before, but can you just remind our viewers, why did you start this gym? I know you've got a background in boxing. You've been to the States. You've boxed with some of the, sparred with some of the really well-known boxers. Was it Floyd Mayweather?
Trained under them.
Coach, trained with
yeah.
and his sparring partners.
Yeah.
So where did you do and how did you start?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me here as a guest.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure. My coaching career basically started here. I developed a few boxers who went on to win some titles. I wanted to pursue this career further. I then flew over to the States, taking the little experience that I had and sort of expanding on it. I was fortunate enough to work under some legendary trainers and basically just...
Who were those legendary trainers? I
had my main coach was Roger Mayweather, who is the uncle and main trainer of Floyd Mayweather. And then Jeff Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather's father as well, who's known as Big Floyd. I managed to sort of hang around with them and sort of study their works. Even before going to America, I was in talks with them. They'd send me videos and we'd have discussions and stuff. And then I also got to work under legendary trainer Freddie Roach, who is Manny Pacquiao's coach.
Oh, right.
So being able to work under those greats, I was able to polish my own work, rectify a lot of mistakes, and then bring all that experience back here.
Okay, so how long were you there for?
In total, I was there for about 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
It's quite a long time. And how was your experience in America? I mean, how do you find the people over there?
You know, I was really surprised because the people of America are very, very, very friendly people. Mm-hmm. The public really don't know what's going on around the world, but I found that they were very sort of friendly people.
Whereabouts are they based? Where was this training camp based?
This is in Las Vegas.
Oh, right.
And the other gym was based in LA, Hollywood.
Right. Oh, I see. So you went to the glamorous part of America as well?
Yeah, that's right,
good.
yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you brought that experience, that training that you learnt over there, came back to Bradford.
That's right.
And then you started this work. Do I remember correctly, you used to work in youth work or something like that?
No, basically I worked up and down the country with lots of children, lots of different camps. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of travelling involved. There was no telling where I'd be next week or 5 weeks from now. There was just lots of travelling. And when it came to a point where I had a lot of people asking me if I would stay local in Bradford or would I ever open a gym up. And it was something that was on my mind, but it was sort of distancing myself from some of the other camps further out in Bolton, Manchester. I used to run the Amir Khan Academy as well.
Oh, I see.
So eventually I came back to Bradford and decided I've got to do something here for the community. As
you're originally from Bradford, aren't you?
Originally from Bradford,
so you're born and bred in Bradford.
That's right, yeah.
Right. Oh, well, mashallah, very good. So it's nice to come back to your own town, to your own community, and put something back into it. You know.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I mean, you have nearly 100 young kids in your register who become members of the gym itself. Now, you know, they start from, I saw some very young people to somebody who was 15, 16, 17 years old. And I know you've had some success on a national and international level as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, and you see that as an ongoing, growing process. I mean, you've been open just short of 1 year.
That's right.
So all this success has been achieved in that 1 year.
In that 1 year.
So let me foresight. How do you see yourself in 2 or 3 years' time? Where would you like to be in the national scheme of things, inshallah?
We have a young man, as we speak now, who trains in the gym. Muhammad Ali is an Olympian.
Yes.
The target, the bar he has set for the youngsters has been amazing. Some of the training that he sort of shows those kids and the level that he trains at has helped those kids try and reach that level. So they're not quite there yet, but he's helped them a lot.
Now this is Muhammad Ali, who's fought internationally.
That's right. He's been all over the world.
All over the world.
Been to the Olympics. We don't have long left now before he turns over, and when he turns over, inshallah, the whole plan is to travel with him.
When you say turns over, he's going to turn professional.
Professional, that's right.
Okay.
He turns over. He's going to make a lot.
Yeah,
of
we
noise.
met him when we were there.
That's
he was
right.
on our program as well,
Yeah.
and inshallah, you know, he will be successful.
Inshallah. And so the world knows about him. So when he turns over, he'll make a lot of noise, and we'll be on the same sort of wagon, sort of taking these youngsters through into those ranks and sort of building them up.
So I mean, Daniel is sat next to you. Daniel is 15 years old. He's already won the Box Cup, I've been told, you know, which is a national competition.
That's right.
Where over 500 young boxers came together. Where was this held, Daniel?
Manchester.
In Manchester.
Yeah.
So you had about 500 boxers from all over the country who came, and you were the champion. You won your section. Okay. So I mean, this is a proof of the success of the club, which is, you know, something fantastic. And Danny, how long have you been boxing now?
I've been boxing about 8 months.
8 months.
Yep.
So do you start fresh? You didn't do anything before that? No boxing.
I just used to watch a lot of boxing.
Right.
And then
So you're a boxing fan.
yeah.
But you never got into boxing until you joined the gym.
Yep.
And what motivated you to do that? Well, no, why
I just generally like boxing, so I joined the gym.
So you joined the gym because you wanted to be into boxing. Did you have the physique, the muscles, and everything to go with it, or is Inzi's hard work?
Inzi's hard work
Has made you powerful and all that.
Yeah.
Is it? And you enjoy boxing.
I enjoy it.
So how many evenings a week do you have to train, or how many hours a week?
You have to train at least 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
But you can train every day if you want.
Right. And how many hours do you spend doing it?
Sometimes I go every day. Sometimes I'll go like 4 days. I spend about 2-3 hours in the gym.
Every time you go there?
Yeah.
Right. And you enjoy it?
Yeah.
My goodness, it'd probably give me a heart attack if I was to do that. Right. So, I mean, you started off 8 months ago, right, from something right from the beginning, having never boxed before. Were you not frightened of getting into the ring?
No.
No. Well, I like to see a man of confidence. And that's one of the things that Muhammad Ali really had. A lot of confidence in himself. So inshallah you'll have that confidence as well. And what I mean, you know, what weight level are you boxing at?
About 46 kilos.
So what's that in terms of, I mean, we understand lightweight, flyweight, heavyweight, or whatever it is.
I'm very light.
It's a very lightweight, is it?
Yeah.
All right. So is that the weight you want to stay at, or do you want to move up the weight scale?
Yeah. When I grow, then keep moving up.
So you're going to move up as you grow older?
Yeah.
All right. And I know I asked the young boys, and I think you were there as well, about the diet that you have to have, right? And to say, you know, when you build muscles, you need protein or whatever it is. I've only got fat, I've got no muscles. So, you know, what sort of diet, I mean, it might help me as well, inshallah. You know, if you give me some advice, how do I cut back on the fat and get more muscles? How do I do it? What do I have to eat?
Avoid eating junk food, but you can have junk food at least once or twice a week. It doesn't hurt.
So when you say junk food, you're talking about burgers and pizzas and things like that. So what is your main meal that gives you the energy, the strength? Were you the one who said I don't eat rotis?
No, that's Ali.
That was Ali, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you eat that gives you that power and that strength to be a good boxer?
Whatever my mum makes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is she a good cook?
Yeah, she is.
Is she? So what's her favorite dish that she makes for you?
And she normally makes a roti every day.
Right.
Sometimes I'll steak, chicken.
So she really looks after you.
Yeah.
I hope you appreciate your mum.
I do appreciate mum.
Yeah, make sure you show her plenty of love for what she's doing for you. Inzi, coming back, I mean, you have nearly 100 boys and girls. How many girls have you got? I know when I came to your gym,
there was 2.
You were saying there was a very few girls because there wasn't facility for it, and you were looking to expand into the building. Has that happened now? Have you expanded?
Yeah, we have expanded now. So I don't know if you remember the area at the back that was being used as a storeroom. We've now taken, I'd say maybe half of that.
Right.
So we've been able to sort of expand further back. And since then we've had another 7 girls who have come on board as well. So that's growing as well.
So these are young Muslim girls from
Yes.
the Pakistani community.
That's right.
You know, do you have other communities there in that area?
We do actually, yeah. We have a Slovakian community,
Right.
and then we have a white community as well that comes. We've got quite a few different.
So in your gym, you have people from Slovakia, from Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
Do you have somebody from the indigenous, the white community as well?
we
coming
do.
in?
Yes,
Right.
we do.
Because I mean, when I came through that area, it looked like predominantly Asian, mainly Pakistani
Yeah.
community.
Since
I saw very few other people in that area that time.
Since then, since we've grown, a lot of people are finding us on Google now, so that's helped
Right.
with all the pictures, and it's helped quite a bit. We've recently had a new guy called George who's come all the way from Scotland and moved in Shipley, who now represents the gym and wants to fight out the gym. So that's
He wants to buy out the gym.
no, he wants to
Or
represent the
try
gym
out.
as
I
the
thought you
fight.
said buy out the gym for a minute. You know, I've got this thing in my ear, so
He
this
wants
side
to
of my
fight.
ear is sort of half blocked.
Yeah, so he wants to fight for the gym
Oh, right.
as a senior boxer. We don't have any senior boxers at present because most of they're all juniors. But George will hopefully be the first senior
Right.
to
So when you say senior, is that in terms of age?
age 18.
So what's the senior age?
Senior age is 18.
18 or over 18?
Yeah,
All right.
that's right.
So at the moment, all your boxers are under the age of 18?
Under the age of 18.
Right, so this will be your first over 18 boxer?
That's right, yes.
Right. So he's come all the way from Scotland to move to Shipley?
He's moved to Shipley and he went onto Google and checked a few gyms out. And I think some of our work that was being advertised on Google impressed him.
Right.
So he came down and gave it a go. And he's also he's also a writer, I believe, as well for
Right.
some sort of boxing
All right.
channel or community. So
Excellent. So, I mean, Shipley's what, 8-9 miles away from here?
about 8, yeah, about.
So he comes all the way from there to box at your gym?
That's right, yeah.
That's a real dedication and commitment.
Absolutely. We've got people coming from Halifax. We've had people coming from Leeds.
Yeah, I remember there was a young
Yeah.
man there who was coming from Halifax as well.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I remember meeting him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he still comes and obviously the attraction of your gym.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, there's so many gyms I've been told around here. I mean, I only know one other gym, which is not in Bradford, it's where I live. But, I mean, what is it about your gym that you think attracts people to come there? What is unique about your gym? I mean, it's a very small place, there's no doubt about it. It's very compact. Obviously now you've been able to grow a little bit. But what is the magic ingredient that you have?
I think it certainly isn't me because I'm no Muhammad Ali or anything. I think it's more to do with the area. That area has suffered a lot over the years in
Right.
terms of poverty, crime, drugs. Everybody's been crying out for something in that community for a long, long time.
Right.
And with this gym opening on the doorstep in the heart of that community, it's opened the door to many, many young people. There are so many young people and still so many young people that are coming and wanting to join, parents coming to take a look. We have children in the gym that spend anything from 3 to 6 hours a week off the streets and really wanting to change their lives. Parents wanting their children to be off the streets and in a gym somewhere safe. I think it's the area more than anything. I think the area has been crying, has been very desperate for something like this.
In that area, I mean, are there any alternative opportunities for young people to get away from, hanging around in the street? Now, I know I asked Daniel earlier, why did you go into boxing? What were you doing before? And if it wasn't for this gym, what would you be doing now? And he said, I'd be hanging around in the street, which is what many young people do, right? So, I mean, there's no infrastructure in place for young people in communities like that.
No.
Where, the youth clubs have gone, that, local authorities used to provide, and run many, many years ago. So there's nothing else available. Are there any recreational facilities other than yours in that area for young people?
To be honest with you, no. There was one, but that finished many, many years ago called
Right.
Bradford Police Boys. I was a member of that as well. That helped a lot of young people come into the centre and stay off the streets.
Right.
But since that closed down, nothing has sort of come about or been available to young people. And when I opened this gym, that's the first thing I thought about was there are a number of gyms on the outskirts in the town centre and stuff, and it's usually a case of people not wanting to go because it's far or winter, it's raining. So I thought if I opened something in the heart of the community, on everyone's doorstep, we'll have a lot of success with bringing young lives off the street, and that's exactly what happened.
Right. So Daniel, before the gym opened, right, how would you spend your evening? You know, you come back from school, what, 3:30, 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
And then what would you do after that?
I'd go to the mosque.
Right. So you went to the mosque for how many hours?
An hour and a half.
Right. And then after you come back from the mosque,
I'd
now it was 7 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock, on a long, you know, evening like this, what would you do? What were young people like your age are doing at the moment?
I'd go to the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just hung around.
Right. And is that, there's nothing else to do for them?
No.
I see. So you see this boxing gym has given you an opportunity to improve your physique, do something you like, get involved in boxing, right? And do you see that as something that is, in addition to make you a boxer, has it helped you in other ways? Has it made you a better young person? Has it given you discipline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teaching me discipline and get to meet new people,
Right.
and how to communicate with other people. Keeps me off the street because sometimes my parents be concerned where I be, because you know people be around the corners doing drugs and stuff. So sometimes my family be concerned, but now they know that I be at the boxing gym every day. They
So
know
they
that I'm
feel
safe.
much safer.
Yeah.
And they trust in Z, that you know he will look after you.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, obviously your parents support you, and do you feel that the parents, the majority of parents, are supportive, or they should be supporting even more young kids?
I think my parents are supportive, but some people who box, their parents will be afraid that when they get punched, they'll get injured,
Right.
they'll have bruises on their face, like that.
And obviously that is part of the you know, that is part and parcel of the engagement of a boxing. You do get. I mean, have we had anybody who's got really? I mean, boxing is obviously a very strong contact sport. We've had some tragedies in boxing recently as well. Have you had any things happen which has caused concern for the well-being of the young man, predominantly in your gym?
To be honest with you, no, not yet. And God forbid as well, anything happens. We have all the right gear there, so for them to go into the ring, there's a structure in place. So they've got to be able to defend themselves. They've got to be right. They've basically got to have all the skills to go into the ring, know how to stand, how to defend. They wear head guards, gum shields, 16-ounce gloves, so there's minimum damage. At this particular time, no, we haven't had any accidents whatsoever. But saying that, it is a hurt business, and there are chances it can happen.
Yes.
We'd never rule that out. But it's boxing's a hurt business. I believe that when the fighter is ready, he can go into the ring and he can try out. We have various activities, like we have tech sparring. For example, let's say Daniel and his friend go into the ring. I can give Daniel a set of instructions to carry out, and his opponent a set of instructions. So I just use the left arm.
Right.
One of you block, one of you attack. So we sort of build it from there, and as we go along, once they get a bit more experience, we let both hands sort of go.
How do you reassure the parents? I mean, if I was a parent, I've got 3 kids, mashallah, and 7 grandkids. If one of my grandkids said to me, "Granddad, I want to go and start boxing," I'd be concerned.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, like you say, Daniel, people are worried about getting hurt. So how do you reassure the parents about, don't worry, your kid's going to be safe, he's going to be fine, we look after him? Because as a parent, it's a natural reaction,
it's a natural reaction
to protect your kids from getting hurt, right?
I mean, it's understandable. It's a natural reaction, but then obviously we have to sit the courses. We've got to be qualified enough to understand, what's right and what's wrong. Like I said, there's a structure in place as well. But I also believe that accidents can happen as well. But were you saying that something interesting has been happening recently, where I've seen a lot of parents not really concerned about the safety of their children in terms of going in the ring. It's more about their children learning something and helping them from, you know, stopping the bullying, basically.
Right.
They're more concerned about their children learning something rather than getting hurt.
Okay. I just be told, I mean, we've got the video that, you know, when I went to the gym, when I spoke to Inzi, the gentleman who, you know, provided the building facility, and some of the young boxers there. So let's just have a look, just to remind ourselves of what we found when we went there and what we saw with these young people as well. So let's have a look at that, and we'll come back to you, inshallah, and we'll pick up that. Assalamu alaikum once again. I hope you saw a flavour of what is happening at the Lights Out Boxing Gym. The diversity of the young people who are part of this amazing little gym. And I say little because when I've looked at some of the other gyms, they've got a lot of resources, they've got huge areas from which to work in. And Inzi is running this gym in a very small confined space which has been donated by a local Muslim businessman, and may Allah give him his reward, not only in this world, in the IQRA as well. Because for people like me who work on national issues around crime and crime prevention and antisocial behavior, the work that Inzi does is absolutely phenomenal in keeping young people away off the street. Not only off the street, but actually giving them a purpose in life. Like Danielle here, you know, he's got something that he wanted to do, he was interested in boxing, and Inzi has given him the opportunity to come and become a boxer, you know, and inshallah he'll go far. So I mean, when we went to the break, I mean, that film is really an eye-opener for a lot of people.
Yeah.
it shows how hard young people work to become a good boxer. I mean, not all of them will go on to become boxers,
That's right.
right? But they'll all, inshallah, physically become strong, mentally they become much more robust, more resilient, and as Danny says, keep them away from antisocial behavior, but also make the person as an individual a strong person. I mean, look at Daniel, he's confident, he sits here, he talks very well. I mean, do you feel that boxing has given you that ability?
Yes.
And has it helped you in school, in your work in school as well? Do you feel that it's given you more discipline to become more focused around your... I mean, are you doing GCSEs at the moment?
No, but I'm doing my mocks.
You're doing your mocks?
Yeah.
Right. Does it help the fact that, you know, it disciplines you to sit down and do your homework, revise, etc.?
Yeah.
It does it? And how do you think, you know, being in a gym, learning to become a boxer, which has got, you need a lot of discipline, has helped you to do the other work as well? I mean, you know, obviously you take time out to go to the gym. Do you now set time to say, okay, I've done my gym work, I've done everything else I need to do, I need to focus on my education?
Yeah.
So is that something that has helped you do that?
Yeah.
So what would you like to do academically, you know?
So I'm doing boxing on the side, and then I'll get good grades, and keep on going from there, and then do boxing at the same time. So
what would you like to become after you know, when you got your A levels and gone to university? You want to go to university?
Inshallah.
What would you like to do?
Whatever.
So you haven't got a plan at the moment?
I haven't got a plan at the
You
moment.
might turn up to be the international, the WBA light featherweight champion of the world. You never know. You know, so yeah, you know, you could become that, or you could be both. How many people do I know who are both doctors and either Hafiz al-Quran or even alims? There's quite a few young people I know who actually become medical doctors, who are practicing as medical doctors, and also they're alims as well, and Hafiz al-Quran. You know, Allah has given them that intelligence, that academic, you know, ability that I'm not blessed with at this moment in time. But is it coming back? I mean, obviously, you know, you have worked with young people. You see young people day in, day out. Have you seen a transformation, a change in those young people from the moment they come into your gym? You know, they may have attitudes, they may have, you know, behavior issues, to when they start training, they become part of the team, you know, and because the environment you work in is forced to bring young people to work together as a team, doesn't it?
That's right.
So have you seen that change taking place in young people?
You know, that's a great question. I'm happy you asked me that, because I've seen some huge changes. And I mean, you know, all the stories that I heard from the coaches talking about this fighter when I trained him, and he changed and he became a young, you know, strong man, and the confidence came out of him. I witnessed that inside the gym as well. Danny's an example. When he first came to the gym, he was a loose sort of kid. So basically he'd go and do whatever he wanted until I give him a set of instructions, and I expect him to carry those instructions out. I slowly saw a change in him, starting to focus, and many other kids in the gym. I really saw kids listening and trying really hard. If I told them to stay on the bags until I come back, they'd stay on the bags. I saw some kids come into the gym who I was initially told about, that these were street kids. They had been involved in some like crime and stuff, which I don't really want to go into, but I was told that, you know, can you work with these kids? And I've sort of managed to convince them that the street life is not the best life. It's not a good life for all to live, and I've convinced them to give that up, and I've actually got them boxing bouts which they wanted, and they've been able to channel all that negativity and sort of bring it into boxing, where they've been able to go out and fight and win a medal. Right. So I've seen some huge changes in there. I've seen some kids in there that but not even you know, families at home were having problems with, coming to the gym. And you know, for me it's very important, because that's the buzz of this sport. And this is one of the things that I love about my job. Not only am I just somebody who shouts in the gym, but I find myself as being a teacher, And if you want to say a father figure, I can relate to a lot of children. I can, you know, I've got time to listen to them. Sometimes children come up to me and tell me they've got issues in school or whatever, and we work things out. But I love all the kids that come to the gym, and I truly do feel as though there have been some really big changes in that gym because of the gym as well.
So you're saying you've seen some children with behavioural issues
Yes.
who come to you, and over time you've seen changes taking place because they're in an environment where they either work with other people or they don't work with other people.
That's right.
Right?
Now,
and they build relationships.
that's right. I've had children and young men come into the gym, and I can instantly tell from eye contact, you know, that they've got certain issues going on, like they're not very confident and stuff. And I know exactly what to do with them, so I'll set up role plays with other similar kids, and then I've sort of watched them blossom into these young, confident sort of kids, young, confident men. And if we turn back time, you know, 6 months, these are the same kids and young men that would come in the gym and not make eye contact at all, or hide at the back. Now they're at the front, and it's like they're running the gym now. They're giving other kids instructions on what to do. So for me, that is a massive buzz.
Is it? And obviously that shows in a way, doesn't it, that there are young people who want to do things to improve themselves. And are these kids then going out there and becoming better citizens in their own communities? Are they becoming, you know, volunteers and helping out other people, you know, the elderly, for example, even in their own families? You know, I mean, are you obviously, you know, you say your mum does all wonderful cooking, and do you help your mum in the house?
Yeah, sometimes I clean the house.
Do you?
Yeah, from
All right, excellent. Well done. You know, because I know a lot of young people probably don't do that. And you know, do you think that being part of the team here has helped you do that?
I've always done it since I was a kid.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're one of the good boys, are you? MashaAllah. Excellent. But I mean, this issue around helping young people to become more disciplined, do you do any work around Islamic behavior? You know, how to become a better Muslim, you know, how to become a better Muslim, how the principles of Islam as a Muslim, how you should apply that, not just in the boxing ring, but in your day-to-day life.
Absolutely. What I would like to say is when we're talking about transforming lives and stuff, we have a number of local schools that are involved with the gym, and recently we had a local head teacher come out to our gym because he heard so much about the gym and he heard so much about some of the children that attend his school. He wanted to come out and see for himself what goes on.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm going to come back to you on that, because I think the relationship, the link with the school, is something important that I want to explore as well. Because at the moment you work in isolation, don't you?
That's right.
Right. So you're not working as, you know, sort of, within other structures.
No.
So I think this relationship with the schools, I think, is quite important. I mean, I know, for example, that there are issues around bullying in schools.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sure some of your children would have been victims of bullying, and you know, maybe we can talk about that. We're going to go for a break now. Inshallah, we'll come back. I hope you found the first part of this really interesting and enlightening. I certainly have, and the work that they're doing. We'll come back to you, inshallah. Don't go away, and we'll soon be with you, and we'll start talking about issues that I just mentioned. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.